guys, welcome back to another episode of Sipping with Sheer Magic. How you guys doing today? If this is your first time here, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button and stay for a while. If you're already subscribed, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Y'all, I'm coming on with a not quick video. Y'all seen the title, the thumbnail. I am interviewing my 80-year-old uncle. So I'm excited about this interview. But before I get started, let me know what you are sipping on. Y'all know I got my good over here. Okay, y'all, so I'm going to bring my guest up. We just celebrated his birthday. He turned 80. So do me a favor in the comments. Happy birthday, Uncle Junior. All right? Okay, guys, here's my special guest, Uncle Junior. Uncle Junior, tell the people hello.
Hello.
Can you let us know what you're sipping on today? What
Orange
you got in your cup?
Fanta.
Orange Fanta. Okay, so I'm going to ask him some questions. So first of all, what's your name and where are you from? I'll call him Uncle Junior, but what is your name and where are you from?
James Robert Abson, and I'm from Sherwood, Arkansas.
Okay. What is one of your favorite earliest childhood memories?
I had so many of those. It was always good.
Which is good.
I don't know, I guess going up to my grandfather's, up to his farm.
Up to his farm?
Up to his farm, and me and my brother would run all over the place, and he was having a wonderful time up there in the summertime.
Now, where's his farm at? What was his farm at?
It's out just south of Strong's, Arkansas.
Okay.
Just above the Louisiana line.
Okay. Those are some good memories. What's one, okay, what did you want to be when you were a child, when you were a kid? Yeah, I got my little notes here.
What did I want to be when I was a little kid? That's interesting because at this point I cannot remember. Because I had, I didn't want to be a policeman, didn't want to be a fireman. I didn't want to be a doctor. I didn't want to be a lawyer. And I said, teachers, I thought maybe teachers might have been good. Until I went to college and did my student teaching, and I found out,
You didn't want to do that no more?
Oh, no.
So what did you wind up actually doing?
Well, I went to work for a company down in Crossett as a production accountant because I had a degree in math. Then Uncle Sam decided they wanted to put a weapon in my hand and send me to Southeast Asia.
Okay.
So I went in the military on my own terms, not theirs. I evaded the draft by enlisting. And I chose finance.
Okay.
Which was a very interesting job. So I wound up working as an E5 in an EH slot. And I said, the duty was so good, I said, I ain't got no business going out there doing something else. The duty was good. The money wasn't that great, but the benefits and everything else they had was outstanding.
Which was important.
Well, it was very important. So I re-enlisted, got a re-enlistment bonus, paid my debts. Then I applied for a commission. And since I had a degree, I thought that I could make a career as an officer.
Okay.
Bang, bang, bang. That was a course. Once I did that, then I was at the mercy of them and not mine. So they made me a medical supply officer. And then they put me in a situation that was, as a junior officer, it was kind of stressful because I was working with troops who didn't want to be there. They were conscientious objectors, and they was always trying to commit suicide or attempting to. And so there was a lot of stress on the junior officer. So I said, if I'm going to get shot at, I might as well go to Vietnam. So I volunteered and went to Vietnam.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. You know, I didn't know that about you.
You know that?
I didn't know that.
I went to Vietnam. Yeah. I had good duty over there. All the guys that I was at when I was stateside before I went in, all the other lieutenants named told me I was crazy.
Wow.
6 months later, They were all over there too.
So they was crazy with you.
Now they didn't have no choice. They sent them over there. I went.
You went.
They were sent.
So
So that was good.
wow.
And but after being over there and then in Vietnam, I worked in the hospital over there. I sort of learned that by the time at that point where I was at, military career was not in my future because the conflict was winding down, and Uncle Sam was getting rid of all the excess soldiers they had.
Wow.
So while I was young enough to start a different career, I decided I'm going to get out and go do something else. One of the things that the training when you get in the military, you could be a good police officer, a good clerk. I wasn't going to be a police officer, and I wasn't going to be a clerk. So I got out and I went to work for the state of Arkansas as a trainee, working with welfare clients.
Okay.
Teaching them how to write a resume, teaching them how to. Well, the first job I had was working at First National Bank as a marketing trainee. I soon learned that working at the bank, you work with a lot of money. You don't make none.
You don't make none.
You don't make none. So I went on. I went to work from them. I left them. Went to work at Sipperz, and I was selling everything that wasn't tied down. And in 1980, I guess it was, Sipperz at that point was the #1 retailer in the world. And in 1980, Kresge, which is Kmart, surpassed them. So everybody who worked for Sipperz with less than 10 years was let go.
Oh wow.
And they went from full-time employees to part-time employees. And I hadn't been with them that long. So then that's when I'm out going with the state of Arkansas.
Okay.
As a marketing trainee. And I mean as a trainer. And that's when I wound up spending 28 years with the state.
28 years. That's a long time. Wow. I didn't know some of that. That was interesting. Okay, so I got that one. What did you end up doing? Because you answered that one. So, back in the day, what did $1 buy you when you were young?
$1 bought a whole bunch.
I learned today that bread was 15 cents a loaf.
Yeah.
You could get, what was it, 2 for 25, 2 for 25 cents. Cigarettes was 25 cents. So what are a couple of things that you could get for $1 back in the day?
For one thing, if you go to the movie with a quarter.
With a quarter?
Get in, get your bag of popcorn and a Coke.
Wow.
Ice cream cone was a nickel. And you buy your Coke, Cola, or whatever, and then you go find you some bottles along the way, and you get them bottles, get $5. You can go and get you another soda.
Wow. How much was gas?
You could take $5 and fill up your tank and get some change back.
Wow.
Yeah. Fill up your tank
and get some change back. So y'all hear that? $5 and get change back.
$5 and get change back.
That is something. Okay. What was dating like? Give me kind of a little clip of what dating was like back in your days.
Well, that came along with hey, that was fun. A lot of fun. You know, of course, didn't have no car, so we had to do a lot of walking.
Right.
But I lived in the city of Crossett, Arkansas.
Okay.
And everything was close by. We had a lot of fun. You know, it was good.
It was good.
It was good.
Okay, because that's going to lead me into another question too. What's something kids today would never understand? Like back in your day to kids today in 2025?
It's hard to say what they would never understand. A lot of things that we went through, they didn't have to, because for one thing, the schools were segregated. and they wouldn't understand them whoopings that we got.
Yeah, absolutely.
At school, at home, you get a whooping at school,
yeah,
but you didn't want to let you know when you got home.
Because you got to whoop it again. And that's so true. They was letting them whoop you back in the day and stuff in schools. Yeah.
Tell you all the pieces.
Mm-hmm. Can't do that now.
The coach had a belt that was a belt that came off of a machine. Big thick piece of rubber and whatever. And he tightened you up across that real quick like.
Yeah. I was talking about that with somebody else and stuff, and I was like, "Ooh, Lord!" I was like, "We got that, like, the kids now from back in the day, they wouldn't understand it at all."
So yeah, that was one of the things they would probably have a hard time understanding, but it was all done in love, and the thing is that in our little small town, everybody knew everybody. Said, boy, I know I'm gonna tell Sister Absalom on you. I saw what you did. I said, no, now I'm in trouble.
You like, now I know I'm in trouble. I like that. So before I go on to the next question, speaking of Sister Absalom, with the picture that's behind us, y'all see the picture that's behind us? So who is in the picture right here?
My mother, my father, me, and my brother.
Okay, and this one right here is my Uncle Junior, and that's his brother.
No.
Did I say that backwards?
This is me.
Okay.
And this is my brother, Ted.
Okay. And how old were y'all in this picture?
Probably 8 and 7. 8 and 7.
8 and 7?
8 and 7.
Okay. Yeah, my cousin, did she just find this picture, or has she had it? Did she just find this picture, Mary, and then just got it blown up, or she had it?
We found it.
They found it?
They had it for a while.
Oh, okay.
I had the picture.
Okay.
And she was going through my albums.
And found it. Okay, so my Aunt Mary had it.
I'm going to get this for him. We're going to do this for him.
Yeah.
That's how it all happened.
That's so cool, because if most of y'all know pictures like that, they don't even last for a long time. Like, they get wet, or they just... Really?
Yes.
60 years old? Oh, yeah, that's right, because he just said his age. I didn't think about that. I'm thinking about the actual picture. But most pictures, like,
years old.
they don't even last like that. Like, they fade, or they get wet, or whatever. So we wanted to make sure they said put this in the picture, because this is really important. Okay, so love and family. How did you meet your spouse?
Well, the first time I saw her, there was a function at my church in Crossett, and she and the lady, a woman who, the principal of the school down there, brought them over to our church, and they sang a couple of songs and things. So I said, "That's an attractive girl there," but I had known one of her homegirls, and so. I got her. I told my brother, come up there, I'm going to introduce him. He got there too late. So the next year, my sophomore year in college, I was standing in my dorm looking out the window, and I saw this young lady come across, she and a homegirl come across the campus. She had on a black and gold skirt, big bow back there, long hair. And yes, I said, I'm going to talk to that woman. Got to. So
He's like, I got to.
So that started the whole thing. And then later on that fall semester, I was pledging Sigma, and I saw her in the lunch line, and I told her, I said, I'm pledging right now. And I said, right now I'm on silent probation. I'm not supposed to be talking to anybody. I said, but when I come off, I have a conversation for you. And I walked away. And that was the beginning of 50. Well, we had a 60-year relationship. We were married for 57 now.
Wow, that is a long time. That's a long time. You don't hardly hear stuff like that no more. You know, like 57, 60 years. And then how many children?
Well, she gave birth to 3, and we had another one that came to the house and stayed. He wouldn't leave, so we got 4 of them.
4 and said one came and wouldn't leave.
Yeah, we got 4. Well, he got hurt, and he and my son were good friends and everything. He got hurt, and he was being raised because his parents had died when he was young, and he went in the hospital. And my wife and my youngest daughter went up to the hospital, and they brought him home to our house.
Okay.
And that's where he's been ever
And
since.
that's where he's been ever since. And he is definitely part of the family.
Oh yeah. So we got 4 of them.
Say 4. So what makes a strong family in your opinion?
Well, a strong family, in my opinion, is that if the parents like one another, first of all, and then love each other, second of all, then you're going to have a strong family. And if the parents are trying to be parents and not trying to be friends with the children, things are going to work out much better.
Yeah, that makes a difference.
So it makes all the difference in the world. We got too many parents trying to be friends with their children and not trying to be parents. And you can never cross that relationship up because it causes a situation where the kids lose respect for you as a parent, as an adult, because you're just nobody.
Right.
So
that's so true.
That works.
Yeah. I like that because that is so true. What was it like raising kids, you know, with the 3-4 kids that you have? What was it like raising them? Because you know them, you got some
Hey, it was fun. I love them, and I think they love me. It was I couldn't give them everything. But I gave them love and all that kind of stuff. And we had a lot of fun.
Yeah. Raised some great children.
We were raised in a house where you talking about shared love. We had a little small house, but we had, I think it was like 2 or 3 children. Their mothers came and was born. The children was born in our house. We had some more folks who came, and the young lady and their children came and they stayed at our house. And so our house was a loving home. Open up.
Yeah.
My wife grew up with her grandmother in her home because they were taking care of her. My children, my daughters, grew up helping their grandmother take care of mom. So you know, it was a lot of sharing going on. So that's just the way things go.
Yeah. I know that's why we used to have fun. We used to come and visit and stuff from out of town. You have some great children. You guys did an amazing job. So this one is life lessons. What's one thing you wish you knew at 30? At the age of 30.
Everything I know at the age of 80. Things could have been so much easier.
You say at the age of 80?
I would have had a lot more ducats, as they call it, money in my pocket if I knew at the age of 30 what I know now. But I had another issue at that time that kind of crippled me. Because when I came back from Vietnam, I had a severe drinking problem.
Okay.
I woke up in the morning time and it looked like I had to get a blow out so I could get my nerves back straight. And my wife told me, "You an alcoholic?" I said, "I ain't no alcoholic." She said, "Yes, you are." So I drink it every day. Then everybody was gone from the home one day, and I sat down and looked at myself and I said, Jesus, you've been good to me. You really blessed me and all this kind of stuff. Giving me a lot of situations where I had been like, when I was in the Army, I was number 1 in all my classes. So I got promoted real quick. I got that commission when I was in the Army. They said you couldn't do it. I got that. And he had blessed me to be the first in several different situations in my life, life involved in those. And I said, so I got this issue. And you said, if I cast my cares upon you, you'll take them off from me.
Right.
I said, I'm giving this one to you. He took it. I haven't had a problem with drinking since then.
And you just quit cold turkey?
No, I gave it to Jesus. He took it away
and he
from
took it away from you.
And the guys that knew me said, man, you ain't drinking no more? I said, no. Would you go to AA? I said, no, I went to JC. Because one of the things that happened is, you go to AA, they don't ever get you delivered. Every time you look around, they tell you you're a recovering alcoholic.
Okay.
Well, when you get recovered, I was a supply officer in the military. We had a vehicle breakdown. Go recover that vehicle. Bring it back to the motor pool. Now the vehicle is no longer recovering. The vehicle is recovered. Jesus said He'd deliver you.
Absolutely.
He didn't say you had to go jump through hoops and hoops and hoops. And so that was I got delivered from it.
I like that. He's like, hey, I'm speaking into existence and praying on it, and it happened. Y'all hear that? It can happen. Okay, so I know you were saying somebody asked you the other day, what does it feel like being 80 or something? You said, I don't know, I just got here. And so I was like, what does 80, turning 80 mean to you?
I've been blessed of the Lord. Because everybody tell me you don't look like you're 80 years old.
You don't.
I said I don't know what 80 is supposed to look like, but you know, I know that there are a lot of other people who are younger than me and who's got some major physical issues and things. I've got mine too, but you know, I just praise God that I'm still able to do some of the things I used to do.
Right.
I can't run as fast as I used to, or as long as I used to. Can't pick up as much stuff as I used to, but hey, I'm doing good.
Yeah, and that's a blessing because you don't look like you're 80. Okay, if you could give one message to a young generation, what would it be?
That's something I had never thought about. Especially, I would tell young black folks is learn where you come from, and don't forget it. Keep that in mind, because if you don't, you're subject to repeat it again. So you need to know where you come from. Look and see, because right now there is a big move trying to erase black history.
Right.
And what black history we know even in this century they're trying to erase. But if you go back and look at the evolution of everything on this earth, you'll find that black folks before created a lot as far as mathematics, astrology, and those kind of things. Those are not black folks on the continent of Africa. One of the other things we got is that Europeans are coming to Africa and they're raping the land. And the folks who are African are suffering. But the Europeans came in and colonized the country, and they're raping the land and getting rich. And our folks are suffering.
I like these answers. You are awesome, Sauce. It's like, hey, this is real. So this is fun and random. What's one of the funniest things that ever happened to you? He's like, let me think about this one.
Yeah, because I don't know that plenty ever happened to me, but that made me laugh or anything. I was always the jokester and everything. I really can't think of anything right now.
Okay, that's fine because you're doing good with your questions, though. This one is funny. What's one food you'll never eat again? Because I heard you're a picky eater.
One food I'll never eat again.
One food you'll never eat again.
I don't know what it is. It's just a lot of them I don't eat. Put it like that.
Do you eat chitlins?
Somewhat.
Okay.
Somewhat. Fried and everything. They gotta be taken care of. Very,
Clean them really, really good.
And wash them and and fry them. I eat those. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So this one's for the sweet closing. What are you most grateful for right now? You touched a little bit on it earlier, but what are you most grateful for right now?
For my life, for my children, for my family, for the life that I had with my wife. I'm most grateful for that.
Yeah, absolutely. If you could relive one day from your life, what would it be?
I would say the one day from my life that I would do again is like when me and Joanne said I do. That was a fun day for me. That was a fun day when we said I do.
Did y'all have a big wedding or
no? I was not going to have a big wedding because my brothers had big weddings, but they didn't have the same wife no more.
Okay.
I wasn't going to have a big wedding, but it got to be bigger than what I was planning to do. She wanted a little bit more. We got married in her aunt's front yard.
Okay.
And outside and everything.
Was it like out in the country or something like that?
No. It was in the city.
In the city? Okay.
In her front yard.
I like that. He said to say I do again. That is sweet. Can you leave us what? Well, let me see. Okay, y'all. So let me before I finish with my uncle. So my Aunt Mary is the last woman of the siblings. So how many siblings did you have total?
I had 2, 4, 3, 5.
5 with us.
5.
5. Okay.
So out of the 5, how many still living?
3.
3.
Yeah.
Okay. You, Uncle Ted, and Aunt Mary. Okay, so the other day we were out and we were in public and stuff, and then we were, my uncle, we just celebrated his birthday party, and we was at the birthday party, and I had my camera up and I was going live. So my auntie said that I have to pay her to be in my videos. So I told her with me doing my uncle's birthday thing today, I wanted her to come in and just say hi so y'all can see her because this is his sister. And she came up with every excuse in the book. So she's going to come over real quick and say hi before we end the video. Hey, Mary.
I know he stood up all night.
She said she's gonna come over and just be like, deuces. So she is the last of the women of the siblings out of 5. So this is my Aunt Mary. You want to say anything to the people?
Hello, beautiful people. She brought me in.
How did she keep us? I didn't say that. That was her. How old is Aunt Mary?
So
68.
my cousin them was like, how old is Aunt Mary? Y'all, she did not look like she's 68 at all. She said, how old is she?
68.
She's 68. And how do you feel?
Good.
I feel good.
How do you feel?
I feel good.
All right then.
Well, thank you for being in the video. I appreciate and love you.
Love you too, baby.
So last but not least, can you leave us a word of encouragement? And first of all, thank you for being in the video. I appreciate you for taking out your time to come. He partied like a rock star, y'all. So he's ready to get him some rest. He had an amazing birthday party. When I tell you them saints in that church showed up on time, they was there on time. They was piling in. They was not playing. And he had his family and friends and loved ones and church members there and kids, some grandkids. And it was, we had a really good time. So could you leave a word of encouragement?
Well, for one thing, I can't remember which one of the groups was, but one of those groups that came out, the doo-wop series, had a song that can never be in peace unless Christ is at the conference table. We are living in a time right now when the Bible done told us there's going to be wars and rumors of wars. The thing I can say to everybody now is better get right with Jesus.
Yep, y'all heard him.
Let's go home.
Get right with Jesus and let's go home. Yes.
That's a song. That's the only thing I can tell you, because if you don't, life is going to be, well, not life. You got either you go to heaven or you're going to go to hell. You're going to spend eternity there, because this is not the end of our existence.
Absolutely.
Okay. There is a situation where we're going to be in after we leave these earthly bodies. Okay. So I'm going to say, get right with Jesus.
Get
Let's
right
go
with
home.
Jesus and let's go home. Y'all heard what he said. Amen.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Yeah.
Hallelujah.
Let's go home.
And go home. Well, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Uncle Junior. I appreciate you.
I love that.
So, y'all, we're about to end this video. Like, comment, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you know when I come on to run my mouth about whatever I want to talk about. Drop in the comments and let me know what you are sipping on. And until next time, y'all, Sheer Magic is out. Don't forget to tell my Uncle Junior happy birthday in the comments, y'all, okay? Bye. Deuces.